So hello there. Welcome to the second edition of Meet the Man, Meet the GM, and today we have the Bonnyrigg Cheeseheads GM, and I'll let you introduce yourself.
Hi, yes, I'm Chris, 35 years old, stay in Bonnyrigg, just outside of Edinburgh, up in Scotland. So,
Cool. So obviously, Bonnyrigg and Cheeseheads would be a Packers fan.
yep, yeah, that's right,
Yeah.
Cheesehead Packers fan.
So we have another Packers fan in Edinburgh, so that'll be fun. And you've got a Dallas fan in Bonnyrigg, which is not another bloody cheesehead when the team names came up. But yeah, I don't know if you're in actually Old Man's edition. I'll have to look at that one anyway. So how long have you been an NFL fan?
So I first watched an NFL game back in 2008, so through a couple of my friends that I knew through golf. So they actually played, it's called Super Golf, so it's almost like a NFL scoring playing golf. So
Oh,
we
cool.
played that during the day, and then we went out at night to watch the Super Bowl. So that was the Patriots Giants helmet catch game.
Oh yeah, good
It
game
was a
that
good
one.
one. So
Yeah,
then, kind of done that for the first few years, sort of just watching the Super Bowls, and then just grew into supporting, like watching the sport from there.
cool. Anyway, so how long have you been playing fantasy football
Uh,
then?
Seriously, probably 2 years, but I was in a league with just a few friends for probably 2 years before that, so probably 4 years in total. But only a couple of years, sort of more seriously.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. So you're looking
Yeah,
forward to
really
this
am.
one
Yeah,
then?
it's good to see these ones. You meet loads of people through them, and different people. Some of the ones you're in, and like you join regular ones, it's the same sort of names, but in these bigger ones, you seem to find that there's different folk you meet and stuff through that.
Yeah, that is good. Like, because a lot of the names are came through Sleeper, like in all the different leagues and people sharing it. So it's a great community to be in, and the fact that I can do this is pretty awesome. Like all said all along, I thought I was going to get 48 players at a
Yeah,
max. To get this much was a bit crazy. So a bit more hard work, but it's all fun. I'll probably never win it, but at least I'll have the trophy in my house for a year anyway. That's up
it
there in
looks
the
good.
back room. So
Looks good.
that's what the overall winner will get, and obviously everybody will get a miniature helmet with each design for the league or each the league they're in. And I'm getting them probably around about pre-season time, so I'll be able to share
Yeah,
it
they
with
look good,
everybody,
and
see
the
what they
photos that
think.
you sent they look really good.
So I know. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So then we go. What is your best trade offer or you've seen or accepted?
Yeah, I'm not a big trade person. I never know how to value trade, so I'm normally a bit reluctant to the trades. I done one this year, I'm a co-GM in a league, and we done Jordan Love for Christian Kirk, so I'm thinking that could potentially be a good trade. Um,
Well, yeah, it will be now a starter.
and
Yeah,
another one I done was CMC. I gave up CMC for Kamara, Judy, and Addison. So I quite like that one just to get a bit more. I needed depth in my roster, so it gave me a bit of depth and stuff.
well, that's the thing. CMC has an injury thing quite a lot, and he's an amazing player, but like I say, he never lasts the whole season. There, he might have done this year, but he
Yeah,
didn't play
yeah.
all the games. I think so. And Judy hopefully get better this year. Addison, well, the sky's the
Yeah.
limit for that boy. And Kamara, even if he does get suspended, he come back, he's still going to be the focal
So it was one
point
of
of
these
that
ones. I needed a bit of
attack.
depth, so I
So
just felt for me it was good value. Whereas CMC is obviously a lot to give up, but for me I felt it was a good offer.
yeah, he's getting on as well. Like he's 28, 20, 27, 28, so it's
Hmm
a bit old for a running back. So and what's the worst trade offer you've
Uh,
received? Not accepted, but I got loads of them. So
you always get like a a third rounder for someone that's like a top player. You just folk chancing their arms, so
yes,
like a third rounder for Travis Kelsey, or like one thing with a load of trash on the back. So it might be like it's hard to remember. Like what I mean? You'd have a second rounder and a stud player, but they're wanting to give up like 2 year starters. I'm not, as I say, I've not
yeah.
got any like major shockers I've seen.
Well, yeah, I've seen a couple. I've been off this one league I'm in, and yeah, well, yeah, the trade offers are just absolute garbage. Like, but you just
Uh,
ignore them all the time. But and he does it with everybody
there's
that
folk that
talks
just
to me.
chance
So
their luck and think somebody will not really know what they're doing, and they'll see the one good part of it and not realise the
yeah,
rest of it's terrible.
I know. Well, that's the thing. Thought about it this morning, and I was at the Giants game in 2007 with Miami, and I met a couple of boys who was actually in a fantasy league with. So I've probably been doing fantasy football since 2005 or something like that. So it's quite a while. But that was on
Yeah.
CBS Sports, and that was not the best site, but you know it was good to keep up and all that stuff. So yeah, some bad trades in the past, but yeah, there seem to be more and more crazy ones on Sleeper than you ever got on
I
NFL
think some folk
trades.
just are up at like 11 at night for something to do, and they just click a load of buttons and send a load of players over, thinking that people just accept them. But
Yeah, well, in my main league, there's Sean seems to always come out of a trade better than you think. You think you've
uh,
got a good one up on him, and you realise he's just taking your
there's
wallet at the
sometimes
same
you sit
time.
there, you're looking at that. Is that good value? Is it not good value? And you're trying to weigh it all up.
And then you accept it, and you
Uh,
go, "Oh, well, nah, actually, no, I shouldn't have done that." But yeah. So on your, because you've only been doing it for 4 years, what is your biggest draft bust in your 4 years? Sometimes
biggest draft bust.
somebody you thought was a either it be a redraft or a rookie draft, you thought was going to be a dead cert and it turned out to be a complete flop.
Got to be one of these like these top QBs. Now they look like a bust. You know what I mean? A Baker Mayfield, who you probably thought was going to be a starter for a long, long time. That's done nothing. Someone like that probably. It's probably my biggest bust because you've given up a lot for him and it's not held value.
Yeah, well, like I said in the last one, I said I gave up a lot to get the first round pick after winning the first year in the dynasty for Clyde
Aye.
Edwards-Helaire, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
still suffering. So yeah, I try not to do many crazy trades like that again, like just sort of go
It's
with the
true what they
flow.
say.
But
It tends to be the
that
fantasy players are the most like the certainties in the draft are players that aren't tend to be in fantasy. You know, your IDP players. They're the ones that the NFL drafts people seem to hit on most, which isn't great for fantasy because they're not in a lot of leagues.
yeah,
Whereas some of the skill
I know it's a
positions
bit
are
of a
harder for them to nail down.
yeah. Well, at least that's why I thought it'd be a bit different having a couple of
Hmm.
IDP in this league, and like I'm not. I did a couple of IDP leagues last year, and to be honest, I wasn't
Yeah,
really
yeah.
sure what I was doing. But the good thing with the draft being way in August, ADP will be a bit more
Yeah,
reliable than now. Now all the best players are way down the bottom, and you
yeah,
really
yeah,
have
yeah.
to hunt for them for about 20 minutes to find them. So it's a news, and I'm pretty sure they're flex, so you can have any defensive division. It's
Uh,
only two spots. You really only need like three
yeah.
on your roster, kind of to cover the bye weeks or whatever and stuff like that. So hopefully people enjoy that. But I thought it was a bit different than a super flex because super flex everybody just grabs all the quarterbacks and leaves
Yeah,
everybody with none.
aye.
So I do like super flex, but I like
Yeah.
non
One
super flex too.
quarterback. I probably prefer one quarterback because you can go more strategy. Because as you say, in two QB leagues, it just first rounds pretty much. You're guaranteed QBs are all off the board early doors. Whereas one QB league, if you get a rush on them early, then you can switch and you can go right. I'm going receiver and I'm going to get a good receiver and a good running back, and I'll pick up a mid-level quarterback maybe round 4, round 5. So you kind of get the
Yeah,
payback
so
for not taking the QB early. Whereas in two QB leagues, you just can't do it. You've got to go. Otherwise, you're left with absolutely nothing.
yeah, you have to have at least
Yeah,
you have to have one in the first 2 rounds at
yeah, you've
least, or
nothing.
you're
You've nothing.
completely yeah. But like it's like Doug says, like some of the best balls last year that they were winning it with
Uh,
Jared Goff and Daniel
mm-hmm.
Jones that were picking up six, but you can't hit
No,
that all the
no.
time, or Geno Smith can because nobody thought they were going to do much, but they managed to. But then this year they might be
Mm-hmm.
complete garbage. So, whereas obviously you know what you're getting from Mahomes, Allen. Well, Allen was a bit crap last year come the end zone, but and you got Hurts who was going to get all the goal line scrambles near enough all the time with that offensive line pushing
Aye,
everything
aye, aye.
every scrum.
Aye, fake points, isn't it? It's just
So
it's just
that's
fake
a good
points.
yeah.
That's the O line scoring. That's the O
I
line
know,
scoring. No hard.
I know. I hate it. Obviously being a Giants fan, it's just it's
Aye.
horrible. Having to face that twice a year, but no. So hopefully they'll have won the division well by the time we play them in weeks 15 and 17 and they'll play themselves like, but I doubt it. But so then obviously we know your favourite team is the Packers, and so how come you follow the
I
Packers?
think I was just watching a game and it was a snow game, and I just thought it was, up here you watch football in Britain, and if there's snow, it's like, oh, game's cancelled, blah blah blah. But it was a game in Lambeau, and it was the old sweeping just the lines, and for some reason, I just loved it, and just from there, I just grew to love the team.
Yeah, it is good when you see them, especially when it's the home team doing it for their own. Like was it last year the Federer Cup they were clearing the snow with the kicker was about to kick, and the
yeah.
offensive line was scraping it clear. So
It
it
was
was
just
just
something
brilliant.
about, it. I
You get,
just
like I
loved. You
say,
know what I mean? I don't know. I couldn't put my finger on it, but
yeah, but it's the snow games are awesome. Except when you're playing against a team in white. It must, I
no,
don't know why
not
they
at the
do that.
minute.
I mean, they should both be playing different colours. It's totally unfair. But yeah, unless you're the team in white, obviously. But yeah, and of course, like, what's your least favourite team and why?
Everyone hates the Cowboys, don't they?
Oh, it's the Cowgirls. Yeah, it's the
It's like
Cowgirls.
if you like, you like Scottish football, everyone hates Rangers unless you're a Rangers fan. It's just like
Yeah.
the done thing, isn't it? Yeah, probably them. The Bears don't particularly like the Bears, obviously, in division team. They're probably the two, the Bears and the Cowboys.
Cool. Yeah, I think a lot of people might say the Cowboys actually, but yeah, I think it's just because because they were good for that time that they think they're
Yeah, yeah.
better than everybody else, and they haven't been that good for a long time. But they still, well, Jerry Jones still thinks they're that
I
good.
know if you told somebody in the early 90s, when it was in the 90s they went on the run, that they wouldn't be in a NFC title game for 30 odd years, but nobody would have believed you. You could have won. If you could have
No,
gambled on that, you'd have been a
you'd think
billionaire.
it's oh definitely. Yeah. But yeah, it's just it's crazy, but it's
Yeah, yeah.
NFL. That's what happens. But yeah. So what was the next one? What is your favourite former player from your team? You've got quite a few good ones to choose
Former
from in that
player.
team.
I'm not going to go with the obvious of Devontae Adams or Aaron Rodgers, the recent ones. I'll not go with them because they've just left. I'd go Donald Driver or Greg Jennings probably. Greg Jennings because I saw more of it. I
Oh
just
yeah,
saw the end of Driver's career when I started watching the sport. So probably Greg Jennings.
yeah, he was something else. Like yeah, could have been Clay Matthews.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
was good.
The,
I love watching Clay Matthews when the
the
helmet came
the
off and the
flowing
locks
walks.
went. It's just,
Yeah.
the flowing locks, yeah. So and then obviously, what's your favourite former player that's not from the
I'd
Packers?
probably go Calvin Johnson. Seen him terrorise the Packers a few times, even if they didn't maybe have the most success. He was still. And then just watching him in the league, he
I
was
just
so
seen
good
that.
on a team that wasn't
Yeah.
particularly good. Fair enough, he had Stafford who you can see as a decent enough quarterback, but I just thought that connection the two of them had and he was just a machine, wasn't he?
Oh, it was just unreal. Like, yeah, I saw that on Twitter actually, and it's like, what's your most favourite, best player in the worst team? And obviously, it was a picture of Johnson
Yeah,
catching a touchdown because that is a bit of me. He was
uh,
such a good player and they were garbage. But yeah, then obviously, so who's your favourite current player
I like Aaron
on your team?
Jones. I like what he does for the team. I think he seems to have a passionate personality about him. You see him with the big sombreros on, that sort of stuff. So, yeah, I'm a big fan of Aaron Jones.
Yeah, he is a good player. Like I do like I've got Aaron
Mm-hmm.
Jones in a few leagues
Does quite a
actually.
lot in both,
He
in
was
the
one of
run
my
game and
favourites.
in the
Yeah,
passing game.
yeah. That's why I was surprised when they
Mm-hmm.
drafted Dylan. To be honest, because you had Jones, he was still young, he was still really productive. You had Williams as a backup. You could have
Yeah,
kept him,
I think
but
a lot of Packers fans were disappointed
uh,
to see Williams leave. Thought he would have done it. He could have done what I suppose you're getting younger
uh,
with Dylan, but see what he does this year. I think it'll be more run heavy, so he might kick on this year. But see what happens.
but yeah. Well, you have got a lot of good young
Mm,
receivers, so hopefully Jordan Love can hit some of them, and you've got a couple of decent
yeah.
young tight ends. So let's say they might break the rookie catching record if he has to dot the ball off
Hmm.
quite a lot. So, and then obviously, what's your favourite current player not on your team?
Uh, I'm very boring. I'm very receiver. I'll kind of go receivers because they're obviously. You could obviously go Mahomes or Allen, but I'm going to go Justin Jefferson. I just think again the Packers see him twice a
Yeah,
year, and I just think we shut him down in the second game last year, so he can be nullified, but you just see him. He's just such a
what
weapon.
was it? Week 1 you played him last
Week
year
one, and he actually torched us. Aye,
when he
torched
just
us.
went. Yeah, just that was meant. Because I think it was a two. How many? Was it
Aye,
200 odd yards
he
or
averaged
something?
over 100. He
Because I
averaged
saw.
over 100 yards per us against us in two games, and in one game he had no receptions.
Yeah,
So you know how good the other game was.
because I was it somebody put in the chat that if he gets 243 yards, he's got more receiving
Any
yards
beer,
than
aye,
any Bears
mental, isn't
receiver.
it?
I
No,
thought
no,
I
it
knew to
wasn't
put
me.
that in.
But I read that
No,
somewhere. I was laughing about.
I thought it was brilliant. I said that'll
I
be
know.
week 1, and it could well be. That's a scary thing. So then I go. What is your favourite NFL fantasy podcast to
Uh,
listen to or watch?
I listen to quite a lot because like commuting to work and drive. I do a bit of driving to work, so on my breaks and stuff, I can listen to them. So I quite like. Obviously, I like some of the ones that are more local to us. The fantasy sanctuary and 5 yard rush and stuff. But I really like the
Yeah,
PFF
they're good.
NFL podcast. So I just enjoy what they do when they do the game breakdowns. you know, on the Monday they're really long and they go into quite a lot of detail about the games and stuff. I quite enjoy that one.
Cool, I'll have to look that one up actually. I don't think I've listened to that one. But yeah, I do listen to the 5 Yard Rush and the Sanctuary. I was watching it last night, but I had to watch it on YouTube with no volume because I was watching it with the missus. So I was just watching the baseball draft, but like obviously, and around the NFL, that's a quality one. Like, but they do sometimes do my head in when they're slagging off the Giants.
Some of them get a bit repetitive. Like I try and switch up because you find that some of it gets a bit. You can't what the Americans are like in the way they cover the sport. It can be a bit much at times.
Yeah, it is. Like, but then the good thing with them that it's not really a fantasy football podcast. It's more a podcast. They do. So I like that, but like, and obviously but yeah, I do listen to the Football Sanctuary. I've subscribed to their channel as well, and I do listen to the 5 Yard.
Yeah, that's why I like the PFF one. They kind of talk about everything. Like, you know, they're obviously basing it on PFF grade, and they talk a lot about how they see the game versus how other people see the game, and it's almost like a different angle to take it. But they talk about, like, they go into quite a lot of, not just about, as you say, it's not all about fantasy. It's about the league in general, about team building and roster construction and all that sort of stuff. I find it quite interesting.
Cool. I will be looking him up after this podcast anyway because I wanted to watch it. And obviously, the last question, which is probably not a thing, but do you write for NFL or do you?
No,
you have a podcast
like
or anything like that anybody could watch? So no. The one or two here do, so you'll probably get like I know Gary, he does one for an American company. I've been in that a couple of times. It's quite good. We just talk about football, and his knowledge is a bit more than mine. But anyway. But that was it.
No, it's good.
Thank you for joining. It's a lot quicker and more organised than the first one. But no, it's good. But I'll just say thank you for joining me.